We're making a very special cake today. Welcome to Help at Home, your resource for great recipes and easy learning. I'm Jim Hightower. With the heat gone, now we're ready to make a very special cake today. And would you be surprised to learn that it's a pound cake? And you might be saying, well, pound cake, that's awfully ordinary. Not this one. So grab your pen and paper. Here come the ingredients. You will need 1 pound of butter, that's 4 sticks. 1 pound of eggs, that's 9 large eggs. 3 cups of sugar, which is a little bit more than a pound. 3 cups of flour, which is a little bit less than a pound. Preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Oh, and you'll need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now you might be asking, what makes this cake so special? Well, it is in the tradition of the original pound cake. In an 1808 cookbook, I found a pound cake that used 1 pound of flour, 1 pound of sugar, 1 pound of butter, 1 pound of eggs, and 1 gill of rose water. That's half a cup. People don't really like rose water, so I'm not going to get into that. But, and it said cook in a slow oven for 15 minutes. There's no way all these ingredients can get cooked in 15 minutes. But, I got this recipe from Chris Hope. He's a good friend to many of us, as you know. His sister had the recipe, Sister Gracie, and it turns out that it was her friend's grandmother's recipe, and that the grandmother had made it for years, at least 60 years, because the oldest child was 67. So there you go. First thing we need to do is prepare our pan. Now, you can spray this with the non-stick cooking spray like I'm doing, or you can baste it with butter, but I'm trying to be a little bit healthier. Be sure and get that inner hub there. This is a tube pan. You've seen it before. We made our angel food cakes in this. I believe this is a 10-inch tube pan, in case you're wondering. So, here it is sprayed, and then you just get some flour and drop it around that center hub first. Then you can just put a nice little drop of butter in there, and you hit it down and go all over the bottom, and then you start doing your sides. It takes a little bit of practice, but you can do it. Get some there. Anyway, we've done this before. Then when you get it done, give it a good whack on the trash can. There you go. I have 7 eggs in here, and it's good to break them in a deep bowl so you can hit it on the side, crack it, let it go out. You can crack them on top, but then you get raw egg coming out, and that's just no good. That's like raw meat juice. Then have a paper towel close by. Oh, and I have my trash can right here. I'm going to put my bowl into Big Red here. I apologize, that's the scraper on the paddle, and until the bowl gets some more wet stuff in there, it's going to screech a little. I've got my 1 pound of butter. Each stick is 1/4 of a pound, and they've been sitting out for over an hour to soften at room temperature. The recipe was very simple. It did not say to melt the butter, so I didn't. And by the way, the recipe says to mix the butter and the eggs together. That's unusual because most recipes say to cream the butter and sugar together. And I almost did, but I've had such good results with this recipe, I did not want to change it. There's our pound of butter. And let's start mixing slowly, because with those eggs, you could very easily get all over the kitchen. So mix it slowly until the butter breaks up. As you can see, the butter's broken up some more. I did increase the speed of the mixer, and hope you can see that. You need to mix this until it's smooth. So if it takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but you want that butter to be soft, my butter could have set out even longer. Here we have the eggs and the butter beaten up. It's fairly soft. The butter has kind of started separating a little bit, so I've decided to stop there. It's not completely smooth, but what I would say is mix it till the butter's beaten up fairly smooth. Then when you put your sugar in, it will definitely help to break it down. That's a lot of sugar. When that's mixed well, we'll move on to our flour. Here it is. It's much more smooth. It's about the consistency of cream corn. And as you continue to add ingredients, the flour, for example, will help to continue breaking up the butter and mixing it in evenly. I'm gonna do this kind of slowly with my spatula here. Sorry if you can't see this too well. Mix that for a moment till it's a little bit more smooth. Now, much more smooth, if you can see there. And now we're ready to taste. We're ready to put in our teaspoon of vanilla. Rick Halber homemade vanilla here. Also, I have Cricut sign here, Help at Home, from Oki Productions, and the scraping pedal attachment from a year ago. Very nice of him and his wife. And that's it. Now, I have to remind you to scrape the sides unless you're using one of these scraping paddle attachments, but you also need to make sure you get the bottom, but it is mixed well. This is a super delicious recipe. I just want to stick my hand in there and eat it. It's better than a can of sweetened condensed milk. You take your prepared pan and you just scrape it in there, or pour it in there. It is thick. All the butter and sugar and flour. But I'm here to tell you, this is almost like candy. It is moist. It's flavorful. Whoop. And it's dropping. Anyway, just take it, spread it around, make sure your pan is even here, and that's it. Now, I'm going to tell you, you have to taste this. Where's my mama? Slap your mama good. Into your 300-degree oven for 1.5 hours. With my extra insurance, you can check it at 1 hour and 20 minutes so that you don't burn it. Be sure that you set your timer. This is too good to ruin. Here is my pound cake out of the oven after an hour and a half. I stuck a toothpick in it to make sure that it was done. It came out clean. And I let it sit for about 12, maybe 15 minutes in the pan to cool off and recompose itself. Now you need a thin knife. Go around your center carefully. You don't want to tear it up if you can help it. Then stick it around the edge and slide it around. That's the first time I've cut into a cake in a long time. I had it on the cooling rack to help cool. Now here's another little trick or tip. Put your cooling rack inside a baking sheet, and then we're going to turn this over and unmold the cake, and this will catch all the crumbs. So just do this, and there it is. Now we need one more cooling rack so we can turn this right side up to cool. Here we go. Put this here, and you've seen this before. Which, we had some crumbs. Wham. Now, I would let this cool for at least 30 minutes. You don't want it to fall apart on you, even though it's good warm. And then we'll come back and cut that and have a great glamour shot. Remember, this may go down a little bit because it's puffed up from baking, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is the most delicious cake you've ever tasted, and it's just almost like candy. I may have said that before. You've seen the glamour shot, and I wanted you to see that this is my favorite way to eat it. Get a slim piece about the width of a finger and just take it plain. Break it into a little cube. It's so good. But it's great with a little whipped cream around it, or with fruit and whipped cream. There are several ways that you could change the flavor of this, and my mother-in-law came up with just a few. You could make this a lemon pound cake. You could make it orange, strawberry, chocolate. I mean, there are so many different ways, it's almost limitless if you let your imagination run wild. So if you try a different flavor, once you try this on your own, and it works out, let us know. Share it in the comments below. If you like this recipe for a delicious, really old-fashioned pound ingredient pound cake, give it a thumbs up. Smash that like button to help the channel. Drop me a line in the comments below about your experience with this recipe and what else you'd like to see in the kitchen. Click the bell in the top right hand corner for notifications. I'm Jim Hightower, and remember, everyone needs help, even me. Enjoy and be well. We're making a very so grab your pad and pad. Welcome to Help at Home. You're Reese, and it's good to break them in a deep bowl because flopper. So be sure and tell me if you try any different whoops.